Guess what? Today, I'm going to go and see a lovely little Range Rover. It's a 2006 Range Rover Sport. It's the 2.7, the one with the Ford engine.
Baby, I'm a gangster too. Baby, I'm a gangster too. It takes one tango. You don't wanna mess with me, gangster too. Baby, I'm a gangster too. On my knees in the night,
It's a 2006. It's Range Rover Sport. It's the 2.7, the one with the Ford engine. It's a little bit more economical than my one I've presently got, which is the BMW engine, which is the 3 litre. But this car is on for a really good price. Let me just quickly talk you through what it is all about. 2006. It's got 80 something thousand miles on the clock, which is really low mileage for the age of the car. Oh, there's the police. It's got an amazing little body kit. It's the Revere body kit, which you don't often see. It's not to everyone's cup of tea, but I must admit, I kind of like it. It's definitely out there. It's got 22-inch alloys. God knows what that's going to cost to replace a pair of shoes on that car. And there's a few little things on it, but the main thing is it's classed as a Cat N. Now what that means is, Cat N means it's a negligible or minor insurance write-off. Sounds scary, but what it could mean is, and I've had this before, where you get a car which is of a certain age, they're not going to be worth very much, and if you break the bumper and dent the wing, it can cost you more to replace the car than actually it would do if you scrapped it. So it's not been classed as Cat S, S standing for structural. This is minor, so it's well worth having a look at, and I think to my advantage is what's actually putting a lot of people off. The price, as I said, is 4,300. I'm going to go and negotiate the hell out of that and see what I can do. I doubt I'll be able to get any more than about 300 quid at the most, because he's a dealer. He's like one of these people, I think, that kind of does it as his own little personal business rather than being a main shop dealer, etc. But there's two other couple of things which have also meant that it hasn't sold straight away. One of them is that the parking brake, he says, is a little bit temperamental. I've had a look online. I must admit, the parking brake does seem to be a very common fault. It could be a few hundred to fix. It could just be a simple adjustment. It's whether I'm willing to take that gamble. And the other thing is the remote control key fob, he says, is a bit temperamental. Now that could be a battery. Again, I'm guessing, surmising. That's dangerous things to do, but I'm never gonna know until I go and see it. So stay with me. Let's go and see it. I'll update you in a little while. So here we are in the flesh. You give the guy a call. Damn, she's looking good. Oh, scratches there. Okay, let's call him. Guess what? I only bloody bought it, didn't I? Oh, I got that stomach. I got that feeling. You know, you get butterflies in your stomach where you got that unknowingness, because I really don't know this particular car. So I'm going to take it back to Scotland. I'm going to drive from London to Scotland. That's what I'm doing right now. Hence a little snack. Shouldn't really eat and drive. Sorry about that. I've got 370 miles to go. That's about 6 hours 30 minutes. Okay. Bottom line is, the guy was a dealer, but he does work for himself. So he wanted £4,300 for the car. I got it for 4,000. That took a lot of negotiation. He wouldn't budge on the price, and I'm not surprised because it's a beautiful looking car. As you can see, it's got the Revere body kit on it, and there's three main things which I think is the reason perhaps people are a little bit put off in buying it. Number one, the key doesn't seem to work. The actual remote locking doesn't work. It obviously starts and drives the car, but I can't lock the car. Now that could be the battery's gone. I think they're rechargeable batteries on this one. I need to have a look at the key fob and see what's going on. It could be to do with the transponder. I really hope it isn't, or the receiver. I hope that's not a problem. It might be a wiring loom. I've heard that Range Rover can have issues with that, but key doesn't work. Electric parking brake, that's intermittent. It did work once, but it makes a funny noise. I can hear it moving, so I'm hoping it's not the actuator. I'm hoping it's actually just adjustment, but it was working intermittently. So they're the two main things. On paper though, this particular car is actually classed as an insurance category N. N means it's minor. And what that actually means, for those who aren't from the UK, is that the vehicle is being classed by the insurance companies as a total loss. In other words, it will cost more to repair the vehicle than it would do for its current market value. Now, apart from that, these are the little minor things now that I've actually discovered whilst driving it for a little while. The mirrors seem a bit temperamental. They're kind of working, but maybe the motors need to be cleaned. It moves a little bit, but not 100% on the adjustment. The heated driver's seat, it seems to be getting warm, but not fully warm. Passenger seat works great, and it's also got rear heated seats. They seem to be okay as well. There's a little bit of loose door trim on the passenger side. I don't think that's going to be anything too major. Oh, the roof liner, you might be able to see it, it's sagging in a little few places. Now, I've seen a couple of really good little videos by basically using a little tiny syringe and some fabric adhesive, and I'm hoping I can do a quick fix with that. There's a little bit of a not a rip, but the seam's gone on the seat here. So what I've done is I'm going to order a little hooked needle, which I'm hoping to carry out what they call blind stitching and bring the two bits of leather back together again. There's a few age related wear and tear marks, but nothing to worry about. And what else can I think of? Oh, the rear tailgate is a split tailgate, so it lifts all the way up, but you're supposed to be able to lift just the glass, and that doesn't seem to be not sort of separating now. And because the remote control key is not working, it might be I've got to get that working to be able to sort that out. But apart from that, oh, and lastly, the washer bottle for the windscreen wiper, that's got a crack in it and it's not holding water. And also the CD player, it's stuck. I can hear it inside, it seems to be jammed. Apart from that, the car's tip-top. Everything else is working. Oh dear. So if you do the thumbs up and subscribe, you'll see the videos that I'm going to do to hopefully repair all of those lists, and I'll put the list down below of what I'm actually going to be looking at repairing. I've got 370 miles to go, but so far, considering she's got 22-inch alloys on the car, also she's only got 80,000 miles on the clock. My other car, which is slightly older, a year or two older, that Range Rover's got 160. So in terms of car years, she's only half the age. And with that body kit, it looks a lot newer. So I've been on the road now for about 4 or 5 hours. I've had a good chance to get familiar with the Range Rover, and I was thinking about the other Range Rover I got, which is slightly older. It's the L320, and there's some very similar things between the two cars, but in the same way, equally, there's some very different things between the two cars. Talking about the engine straight away, in my other one, it's the B&W 3-litre diesel, which is a very kind of high revving engine and a little bit underpowered. I've actually had that tweaked a little bit, and it's a lot better. This engine, it's far more torquey. It's the Ford 2.7 litre, and despite being 0.3 of a litre smaller, it's definitely got more punch. It definitely picks up better, and importantly, I'm getting 33 miles per gallon. Now, I've done nearly 400 miles coming to the end of my journey now, and in the UK it feels very expensive if you're listening in America, but £65 of diesel is what I put in, 33 miles per gallon. That's a 400-mile trip. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's still more expensive than flying, which blows my mind, because I can do a return trip for about 80. But nevertheless, the car is such a lovely car to drive. It's so comfortable, it's so smooth. Even with the 22-inch alloys, really impressed with it. And everything's been great. The music system's phenomenal. It's got a little subwoofer in there. Really pleased with it. So far, the car feels nice and tight. It's been a lovely drive. Probably the most comfortable I've been. This lovely high elevated position, and for nearly 6 hours now, I've almost enjoyed every single mile. So let's just get these two issues fixed, the key and the parking brake. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.
Let's groove on, 'cause it's time to move on.